man. I just love. I know. I love to scratch. I love playing the turntable like a musical instrument. And I love discovering all kind of stuff you could do with it, and I like telling people how to do it because they're gonna do it a different way, and I get excited about that. Like I'll show a guy a certain scratch, and I'll come back a few months later and be like, "Yo, you fucking flipped that scratch into a different way," and then I can learn from them. So I'm always a student, always learning, and it's just always fun to not know anything. When you don't know anything, it's a beautiful thing. It's like, oh wow, look at this. So I feel like a kid all the time.
That's dope, man. So in addition to like DJing and stuff, you've been known to like make scratch records and all that kind of stuff. Are you still making scratch records, and like what other things other than just like DJing do you encompass in your career?
Oh man, we just came out with another one right now. It's called Dirt Style 30th Anniversary, and you can get it on djqbert.com. There's a few left, and it's Christmas time. Use XMAS18 for the secret code to get an 18% discount. And it's a 4-record set. It's the first two volumes have alphabetical order. Almost, I don't even know, hundreds of sound effects in alphabetical order. I was like, that took forever to make. And then the other it's 4-record set. The other ones have a bunch of skipless sounds and some beats and funk breaks, electro breaks, all kind of stuff to juggle, all kind of stuff that turntable musicians would love to use.
That's dope, man. Can you tell us about like the origins of like you getting into making scratch records and what that process looked like at the time?
We just battled a lot, and it was like, damn, we're gonna have to bring all these fucking sound effect records to the show, or do we just put all the best parts of those on one fucking record? And that's how we just made, we made a record like that. And from there, it was like, oh shit, let's make a bunch of these. People like it. And so we continued doing that and evolving, like making it more DJ friendly, like making the sounds like, oh, if the needle jumps, it fucking hops back onto the same sound, so it'll never skip, and things like that. And we're just developing all kind of different ways of doing that kind of skipless thing. Big shouts to DJ Swamp. I think he came out with the first skipless record back in the days, and then we took it different ways. I think he just came out, it was a record with one sound on it, and we were like, fuck, let's make a bunch of tracks that are skipless, and that was like Super Seal. Was a good record for that. And then Super Seal volume 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and now it's up to volume about to be number 9 right now.
That's dope, man. That's dope. You were also majorly involved in the design and production of the QFO. Could you just run us through what that process was like? How did that go?
So there's a company called Vestax in Japan, and they would always ask me, what do you want fucking for the next mixer? So I would draw it on a piece of paper. I used to take architecture when I was a kid, and I was going to be an architect before I was going to be a DJ. And so I would draw the mixer, and they would come back and show me, hey, sorry, we can't use this. And they would come back the next year and be like, hey, this is our new invention. And it was my fucking drawing. I'll be like, all good. And they came out with, like, the first one was the 06 Pro. I wanted a really thin ass mixer so I could juggle real fast. And so that was the 06 Pro. It's like this really thin fucking mixer, so the turntables are closer together. And then the next time they were like, what's another one? So I drew I think me and Shortcut, well, before that there was a mixer called the 05 Pro, and me and Shortcut were like, well, we scratch backwards, and so we want this thing, a switch to make the fader go in reverse. So we came out with the first reverse switch on the 05 Pro, and then the bulletproof scratch hamsters also scratch in reverse, and they call it, so it became the hamster switch. And then after that was this thing, they wanted a new invention, so I drew the QFO. I was like, fuck this, if these fucking turntables had a fader on it, it would be the shit. And so then that was the invention of the QFO. I drew it as a big ass circle turntable and then a little fader on it. I wish all turntables had a fader on it. I don't even know why right now all those fucking turntables should have a fader on it by now, but that is that invention. And then later again I was like, well, let's make this. Vestax came to me, what should we make? And then I drew this thing, it's called a Warlord, and it was 2 turntables and a mixer all together in one. And that was the first Vestax controller. Now every fucking buddy got a controller. Pioneer got the controller. Those controllers, like it's all in one, right? The 2 turntables and a mixer in one. And that was the first one. The Warlord with Vestax, it was called what is it called? Something. Oh man, this was like in the 90s probably, like or early 2000s. I think it was just called a controller, some kind of controller. I forgot the name, what Vestax called it, but it was, yeah. I have the drawing. I should post that on my Instagram. Yeah.
So I wanted to just kind of ask you, like, on more of a meta level, like, where do you think like the root of competition in hip hop comes from? Because there's a lot of competition based in like cypher culture and like rap and all that, but like seems more prevalent, more professional, and more like, I don't know, deep in the DJ world more so than anything. Like, can you speak to that?
Well, I mean, there's two versions of it. There's battling, and then there's collaboration, right? So both are good. You know, I think battling is great if you do it and it makes your skills better. Fuck, and it made me a lot better when I competed and stuff. And I'm still competing against myself right now. You know, always trying to get better than what I did yesterday. But that energy is great for, you know, excelling yourself to become a better you, I guess. And you know, when you start to get together with people that are also competitors and they have the same like-mindedness as you know, you start doing the collaboration. So that's Invisible Scratch Pickles. We all came from a battling world and stuff, and we just got together and made like a turntable band. Big shouts to Shortcut, Mixmaster Mike, D Styles, and we're coming out with a new album actually. Invisible Scratch Pickles. Next album is about to come out, so yeah, it's gonna be cool.
Do you guys still like play shows together?
Yeah, especially now that the album's about to come out. We just did a little something on my Instagram. If you like 3 days ago, Shortcut and D Styles and myself did a little something for Stance. They're promoting a new record that Egyptian Lover made a beat for us, and we scratched on it. So that was kind of cool. So we're doing collaborations with all these other artists and MCs as well.
Dope. So it's funny that sample Fresh is playing in the other room, because I just jotted down today. I was going to ask you, what is the source of the original Fresh sample?
So that's a vocoder robot voice machine. It's called the Roland SVC vocoder, and I got one at the house, and I love that thing. And I think the first people to use that for that sound was DST. It's on a record by Fab Five Freddy. It's called Change the Beat. Change the Beat in French, because it's like they had a French MC or singer on it. And at the very end, it goes, doop, this stuff is really fresh. And that's a sound we scratched. But yeah, they did some processing with that vocoder, that Roland SVC. I'm still trying to figure it out too.
Well, that's super dope, man. That's super dope. I just knew you would know that, so. But yeah, you got a very impressive record collection. I've seen a few things about you for sure. It's pretty wild, man. I was gonna ask, like, my whole thing in like Icon Hip Hop, the organization I represent, our whole thing is like rap ciphers and like underground rap ciphers. We do big public ciphers, and like we started with like 4 people in a park, and now we got like 150 people coming out in these like big ciphers, and we're attracting a lot of people and attention and shit like that. But you know, we take influence from the originals, like the Lyricist Lounge and like all the West Coast shit, the Freestyle Fellowship, Project Blowed, Good Life Cafe, all that kind of shit. Those are legends, right? But I was just wondering, like, I don't really know anything about that history in the Bay Area. Can you speak to like maybe like organized cipher culture in like the late 90s, early 2000s? Like, what was going on in the Bay Area at the time?
Somebody just went to heaven. Saphir, Hobo Junction, Souls of Mischief when they battle them, Del the Funky Homo Sapien. I have a show with him in a couple of days, but then I had to cancel it because it was with KRS-One, Del, and myself. But then I have a gig in Riverside. But yeah, fucking that whole crew. What's it called? Souls of Mischief. What's his name? Casual. Fucking Hobo Junction. To me, those are kind of like the top guys in the Bay. Big shouts to Johnny Crush, and there's Bamboo, and man, there's a lot of MCs out there, especially in the Bay. Who's this now? Black Alicious and fucking that whole mob. There's a lot of guys, and then there's the gangster stuff out there, like Too Short and E40. Those are the big names, and there's a lot of underground thug ass rappers out there in the Bay. So there's almost like there's the backpack guys, and then there's the actual thugs, and there's so many different MCs out there in the Bay. And because they're not in New York or LA, where there's like a kind of like a thing where you have to be a certain way, the Bay was kind of cool like that, because then everyone could just be all fucking weird and shit. And, you know,
There's an extreme diversity of sound. You hear stuff that's like kind of spiritually rooted with like stuff like hieroglyphics, and then you got like the straight up cocaine raps with like Andre Nicotina, RBL, and shit like that. I gotta be honest, RBL's a guilty pleasure of mine. Like I bump that shit like crazy. A cool production, a very unique and interesting production style too. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Real ghetto shit. I love it.
Yeah.
Hence your name. That's why you like them, probably. It's thuggy, man. Oh man, yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
What do you think about that? Like, do you have anything to say about like the blend between car culture and hip hop culture in the Bay Area?
I mean, like the fucking bass. You gotta have the thumping ass bass and shit. And hip hop came with the 808 bass, and
It's not like that here. Like, there's no hip hop and cars like are not linked up here at all.
no shit out here.
Barely.
Oh, interesting. Okay, I guess probably because it's closer to Mexico and fucking the lowrider scene and shit, and so everyone it was all about cars, and the whole lowrider kind of deal out in LA and all the way up to Frisco. Maybe it didn't get up here. Could be that's why. But back there in the Bay and LA and San Diego, it was a big lowrider cholo scene and shit, and fucking always music coming out of that type of fucking those cars. So
What's popping in the Bay right now, man? What's dope currently?
I mean, there's so many things. It's diverse. I mean, shit. Cool Keith just reached out to me. He wants to do another Dr. Octagon.
Hell yeah.
Me, Dan the Automator. You heard Dr. Octagon? Shit. Oh, cool. So yeah, so we might do something like that. I'm waiting for Dan and Cool Keith to do some together, and they're gonna call me, and I'm the DJ. So we'll see what happens. But I don't know, because the Automator's he's real busy, but Keith is like, he just reached out right now, like probably a day ago, and so we'll see. And Dell might do a spot on Invisible Scratch Pickles record, but it's so fucking, how you call it, we're so connected through the whole world right now, like West Side Gun and Conway, D Styles and myself, we work with them, and so yeah, I did before West Side Gun got big. There's a song, look for it, King City by West Side Gun, and then I'm doing the scratches on it. I'm the one cutting up fuck rap. I'm trying to make cream, and that's me on there.
That's dope.
Yeah, and so that's before he blew up.
Is there anybody else you've worked with that we might not know? Or
Milano Constantine, I did a track with him. It's fucking dope. Huss Kingpin, woof. That's real fucking raw. I like that East Coast New York underground shit. I like doing that type of shit. Dell did something do 2 tracks on my last album, Galaxian. What else is there? Fuck, man. There's a Canadian guy that did some shit on my thing. What is now? DZK's on there, and then this Canadian guy, him, Matt Child.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, that's the homie, and yeah.
What was that era like though, working with the Rocksteady crew?
Oh, it was an honor because we were like nobodies, and then we went to New York, and then Crazy Legs saw us, and he was like, "What the fuck? I want you in my crew." So we became the first Rocksteady DJs, and then he started recruiting everybody, all these other DJs. So we're like, "Fuck, we lost our identities." There are hella Rocksteady crew DJs all over the world now. So we're like, "Fuck, we got to change our names." So that's when we became Invisible Scratch Pickles.
That's really dope. There's a record label that you guys had with another ridiculous name as well. What's up? I forget what the name was, but what's up with the names, man? Why do you choose to kind of have that humorous style when you name stuff?
It's just being kids and fucking the shit is entertaining and shit, and it's just.
What was the record label?
There's a record. Well, we have a bunch of record labels, but there's this one record we did called Bionic Burger Breaks, and that was a funny ass record cover. And we made the artist Doug One did the cover, and it's this guy picking a big ass booger out of his nose, and that's the name of the break record, Bionic Burger Breaks. And then that artist went on to work with me. He works with Morning Breath now. We made the very first animated hip-hop movie. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's called Wave Twisters. The first animated graffiti hip-hop movie ever made. And that was my album, Wave Twisters, and every song was a chapter in that movie. So you should check that out.
That's really dope. Yeah. I'm definitely going to check that out.
DJ Qbert's Wave Twisters.
Hell yeah. You still have that available on your website?
No, that's you can just watch it on YouTube or you can. It's on VHS. There's on DVD. It's a 45 minutes long movie.
It's all on YouTube? The whole
Yeah, you could get it on YouTube. You can watch it on YouTube. There's clips of it everywhere. You know.
I'm literally gonna go home and watch that tonight. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That's dope, man.
Try to come out with a new wave twister, like the Invisible Scratch Pickles. We're talking about. We got to come out with another Wave Twisters, fucking 2 or some shit. But I did an album about 4 years ago called Wave Twisters 0. It's the origin of all the characters and shit.
So yeah, just speaking of the rap cipher thing, man, I was wondering, like, do you have any experience like DJing rap ciphers, and like how does that kind of differ from what you do typically?
I've never done a rap cipher before, but the way we scratch is very lyrical. Like we try to make our scratches rhyme, and it's poetic when we scratch at the higher levels of scratching. But I used to study a lot of Cool G rap and Rakim and Big Daddy Kane, and the way they flow, I would try to scratch like that. In the way Kool Keith raps, and where their rhymes hit, I would make my scratches hit like that, you know.
Yeah, that's really dope. I always admire like those East Coast guys too, like Nas. It was I think he's like playing the bongo drums with his voice. You know what I mean? He really syncopates in a way that's really special, and like, yeah, it's pretty dope to see you guys ciphering in there for like so long. And like, just like I was thinking about it, I was like, man, this guy's been in Canada for how long have you been in Canada?
Today or this whole almost, I think this might be the 3rd or 4th day, something like that.
How many hours do you think you spent scratching?
As much as I can. I'm like on training mode. I'm like a nerd at this shit, so you know.
Yeah, I've never seen anybody like anything so much, but it seems like you're really genuinely in love with this whole thing, eh?
Yeah, it's like that's all I know how to do, and I love it, and especially like this is a school, so we're all like learning stuff, and I'm learning stuff too, so.
Okay, so I've heard you talk on the Dregs One podcast and a couple other places. I love that guy. I listen to all that shit. But what do you think the spiritual connection to turntablism is?
It's, you know, like spiritual art is spiritual. You know, dance, fucking poetry. You know, playing a musical instrument, drawing. It's all art. It's all from God. It's all in our spirit. It's the same language. If there never was words, we could communicate with art and fucking music, you know. So sculpture, we could look at it and not speak a word and be like, "Whoa, that's fucking beautiful." That type of shit. Nature, it's all the same language. We all have God in us, and we're all looking at the fucking same communication with beauty.
So you can draw influence from a lot of stuff outside of the music world and apply that to your art. Is there anything else that you draw influence from? Like
everything, man. Fucking taste. If I taste something, I'm like, oh, I wanna. What would a scratch be like if it tasted like that? You know, it's like fucking. Let's mix this and that. It's like being a cook. A good fucking DJ is usually a good cook too. They'll be like, oh, what if we put this together with that fucking together and make up some new menu type shit, and you know. So being an artist is like it's a high cost. Being like a kid, you know how when you're a kid you fucking mix a whole bunch of shit in a fucking bucket and make shit. So it's like a lot of experimenting and having fun.
Hell yeah, man. So my last question, what's the proudest moment of your career?
I think when I learned to the ultimate happy. I learned from this monk the ultimate happiness. I always wanted to know how to fucking be happy, right? Well, fucking they told me the ultimate happiness is giving. So I was like, oh shit. So then fucking when I learned that, I started giving all my secrets away and everything, and that's my favorite thing. When you make people happy, it comes back to you. The karma shit, you know, whatever you put out there, it comes back to you. And then the ultimate evil is selfishness. So it's like, oh fuck, then I'm just gonna keep helping people and give everything, and it makes me want to fucking use my superpowers to make the world a better place. That's kind of my favorite fucking thing, I guess. When you help in, when you figure that fucking little high-cut matrix crack or whatever, it's like, oh shit, we're here to fucking make heaven on earth with our fucking God-given skills. That's like what you're doing right now. You're fucking blessing the world with all this information. It's a beautiful thing.
Hell yeah, man. Well, bees make honey. You heard it here first, people. That's it, man. Is there anything else you want to tell the nice people out there?
That's about it. You know, fucking go on the website, get the records. We're coming out with the new album. All the beats I play, like I just did a show out here, and all the b-boy breaks, they're all free. Like I said, I like to give shit. So we have 77 b-boy break albums to scratch and fucking, if you're an MC, if you want free beats, go djqbert.com and type in unreleased dirt style records. There's 77 albums, like over 500 beats for free.
You just download them.
You download them and fucking you can do whatever you want. You can make your own fucking albums out of that shit. Rap on 'em. We don't want no fucking, how you call it, anything back. Is if you're happy, we're happy. It's all good.
That's amazing. Listen to that and do it. Shout out to Flip and J Records. Shout out to Turntable. Sorry, edit that part. No, I won't. Table Tutors and Rally. Jay at the Hollywood Theater. That was a hell of a night, and none of us are ever gonna forget it. So, peace out.